So happy, healthy afternoon to everyone. Flow Kolkata chapter, in its continuing endeavor to overcome challenges of lockdown by using this time effectively, productively. And so we also need to be optimistic in these crucial times. Flow main motto is power to empower. So we are having enriching online sessions with lot of esteemed speakers. So today is the 12th session in our lockdown period. So we are really privileged to have Dr. Trupti Jain. Welcome, Doctor. Dr. Trupti is a clinical psychologist and occupational therapist from GS Medical College, Mumbai, and is expert past life therapist. Dr. Trupti is the founder of Setu, an organization where inner learning is facilitated. She is the recipient of many accolades for her pioneering work in the field of past life therapy through her acclaimed show Raz Pichle Janam Ka, and has been felicitated by many chambers. She has been creating magic with her own mystic journey, workshops on past life therapy, spiritual numerology, and transactional analysis. She has done more than 7,000 individual healing sessions on past life therapy and innumerable group regression programs. We welcome you, Dr. Trupti, and thank you for sparing time for our members. In today's discussion, we are going to have a very powerful topic, which is power of karma. This is a very interesting topic, and the karma has no menu. You get served what you deserve. So before handing over to Dr. Trupti, she will take us over for the session. I would just request everybody to, whatever the questions you have, please type on the chat. So once she finishes, then we take your questions. So please, over to Dr. Trupti. Welcome once again.
Thank you, Jyoti, Sanjay. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm just going to share screen so that everybody can see see the kind of PPT that I have. So, okay. Okay, everybody can see this. Jyoti, can you just tell me if it's okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so welcome everybody. And let me start with saying a small kind of prayer for everyone, that hopefully all of us are going to go through this whole period in a positive manner. And I hope and pray that all of us are going to come out of this stronger. So today's topic, I thought, let me talk about the power of karma. But I'm going to be talking about the power of karma through the lens of past life therapy, as that's really what I'm known for in the last 10 years. Now, karma is a very, very big term. And most of us just believe that acha karm karo and everything will be fine. Now, I want you to understand that karma comes from the very basic philosophy that as you sow, so shall you reap. That means jaise boge, waise phal paoge. Now, this is the common understanding of people. Now, the key to understand here is, if you sow an apple seed, can you get a mango as a fruit? No. So the key is, what am I sowing is more important, right? If I sow an apple seed, I'm only going to get apples. So our karma is like what you are sowing. So if you do something good, that's the seed that you have sown. And so maybe good things can come to you. But the key is how much good, right? So the seed has to be, filled with some goodness, positivity, and then you sow it. And then, of course, obviously you'll get a tree which is going to give you better fruits. But the problem with karma is people believe that whatever I do, मैं अगर इतना अच्छा करता हूं, if I sow little bit of goodness, I should get maximum goodness. So the key to understand is as you do step by step, that's the kind of fruit that you're going to get. So remember what you are sowing. Every action, every thought, every emotion that you have minute by minute is being sowed in this fertile land of our physical body. Okay, and that's really how we're going to get our fruit. So a lot of awareness and a lot of mindfulness needs to come in this whole journey that we are taking in this physical body. Now, I want to share something about me for you to understand about choices and karma in life. Now, the other philosophy is that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, Newton's third law. So, karma is also defined by cause and effect. There is a cause leads to an effect. There's a cause and leads to a consequence. Now, the key to understand is we are always focused on effect, on the consequence. Mujhe kya mila? We're always focused on what we have, what we are getting, rather than what we did to get something. Right? So the key is we are only focusing on consequence and not on the cause. And that's the reason most of us suffer. हम कहते हैं कि ईश्वर ने क्या दिया मुझे? Look how much he's making me suffer. But what did you do to get this suffering? Through the lens of past life therapy, a lot can become clear. Now, I've written on this slide a number of words, and I'm going to explain that to you so you understand it better. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm born in India. That means my soul chose to come and be born in India. Why in India? Because possibly it is in India that I can learn a number of karmic lessons. Hindustan jo hai, Bharat Varsh jo hai, karm ki bhumi hai. That means a lot of people who come here are actually dealing with karma. Okay? That means karma related to family, groups, stuff like that. In the West, also people are dealing with karma. But in the West, everything is about becoming more of an individual. Everybody wants to work on themselves rather than on you and the relationships. Okay, so I'd like everybody to mute from their side, or if you all can just mute yourselves so that I don't hear anybody's sound. So the key to understand is, friends, that in India, हम अपने कर्म के साथ जुड़े रहते हैं. That means relationships, profession, how to deal with people. We are more people-oriented. In the West, people are more self-oriented. That means they work on themselves more than others. So maybe for me, my soul chose to be born in India because I need to deal with my own karma. Now, the other interesting part to understand our lives is I was born in India and I started living in Mumbai, a city because possibly my parents, the parents I chose, were living in Bombay. And so I was born in Mumbai. But I keep going to Delhi. That means I keep going to the north, especially Delhi. I go to Delhi 5-6 times a year. And Delhi is a place that has given me a lot of wealth and power. Now, why is that? Why is my soul playing this game with places? Why can't I just stay in Bombay and work? Because Delhi is a city. In my past life, in one of my past lives, I died there at the age of 18 during the freedom movement. And so Delhi took away my youth, my ability to earn, my ability to create wealth for myself and power for myself. And so Delhi is a city which keeps calling me back because Delhi wants to give me what it took it away from me. Now, cities, places also are connected to you through your past lives. That's what I want to explain to you. So if you look at your life and you look at the place where you stay or the city where you live, what is that city giving you? You can reflect for a minute and decide for yourself that what is the reason you're staying in this particular city or a particular place that you keep visiting again and again. Like in my case, I've always gone to, let's say, Manali about 5 to 6 times. And Manali keeps calling me. Why? Because I've lived a lifetime out there where I had a lot of trauma, and I died there with a lot of trauma. And so Manali is a place where I go to relax because it gave me trauma, now it's giving me relaxation. So you can also understand from what I'm sharing about my life that how are you attached or connected to your city? The other thing is people in your life, like in my case, my husband, my daughter, my parents, all of them are coming to me from different past lives, friends, not from a single past life. They've come to me from different past lives. And my husband and my daughter come to me from the life that I lived where I had a lot of trauma because we were unable to help each other then. So we've come together now to help each other. That's the purpose for which we have come together. This is how we choose people also, right? Even our profession for that matter. You know, when I was when I was less than 3 years old, when I didn't even know what a nun looked like, because I'd never seen a nun, I told my father I wanted to become a nun. And my father was pretty surprised because I had never seen a nun, or I had never seen a church for that matter. Now, obviously, I have a lifetime in that particular kind of missionary setup, from where I get this need for me to become a healer and a helper. So in this lifetime, I actually have gone to an old age home when I was hardly 16 years old and met a nun there. And I told her that, you know, I'd like to feed old people. I used to go to this old age home on a Saturday and volunteer to feed old, people who are really old, let me tell you, 90s and 80-year-olds, completely abandoned by people, by their loved ones. And the nun, I remember, I was so fascinated by her. And then she told me that, you know, if you become a nun, you can only help in a kind of missionary setup. But if you become a doctor or you become like a teacher or something like that, you can help lakhs of people. She's the one who turned my thinking completely. And that's how I got into my workspace. So your past life profession or your occupation or your passion can also filter into your current lifetime and your karma. This is all related to karma, your action that you're going to be doing in your current lifetime. Poor health or health issues that we get. Like in my case, I spoke to you about the lifetime that I lived where I had a lot of trauma. I fell from a height. In this lifetime, I used to have a lot of fear of heights and a lot of motion sickness. You know, I used to travel in flights or car or trucks or buses. I used to have a lot of motion sickness. It is connected to my lifetime that I lived before. But in this lifetime, when I did my past life therapy, friends, you won't believe it, and a lot of my students who are also watching me on FB Live know this, that my motion sickness completely disappeared. For the last 22 years, I don't have motion sickness. My fear of heights has completely gone. So I carried my prarabdha, as we say in our Hindu scriptures. We have the word prarabdha. That means all our karma that we are carrying in this lifetime, a selected karma that we are carrying from the accumulated or sanchit karma that we have. In this lifetime, I also carried this fear, this poor health. But I took action and now I am better. So I understand the power of karma, the power of action, that I can release the karma completely and move on. The other thing is personality. We carry our personality also forward. In many lifetimes, if we've been kind of withdrawn, quiet, reflective, all by yourself, like I have been in many of my lifetimes, I have a personality in this lifetime, like an introverted personality. I'm a very introverted person. Most of my students tell me, ma'am, it can't be true. You must be very extroverted because you know you're always talking and sharing and stuff like that. But personally, I'm a very introverted and reflective person. I want to develop a lot of insight. So to explain to you that life is our choice, friends. We have chosen this life. And because we have chosen this life, we have to have the ingredients like a menu card, right? So places, persons, parents, profession, personality, and health, everything is selected by us. And that is how we create a choice in our life. So I'm sure most of you have understood as to how this life is your choice. And these are the various, what should I say, aspects that you need to look at if you have to understand your own action or your own karma. Now, in a past life, like I was sharing with you, if you have certain lessons that you have missed, right? Like maybe family responsibility. So if you've missed family responsibility in a certain lifetime, in this lifetime, you'll be taking a lot of care of your family members. You know, you'll go out of your way to help them, to serve them, to cook for them, to earn for them. If in a past life you had lack of confidence, you were not a very confident person, you were unable to speak, then in this lifetime, you will develop a lot of confidence, like in my case. In a past life, I fell from a cliff and I died and I injured my throat. All right. So I was unable to possibly express my emotions. But in this lifetime, I have a lot of confidence, which I've gained over the years, and I'm able to speak confidently. So my Vishuddha chakra, my throat chakra, obviously started getting activated in this lifetime, and I started working on it, friends. You can't just lie down and say, okay, now in this lifetime, I'm going to start doing some, or this lifetime, my throat chakra will anyway open on its own. Aisa kuch hone wala nahi hai, friends. Okay. You have to start working on it. That is part of your karmic work that you have to do on yourself. In a past life, if you had unfulfilled ambition, your ambition was not fulfilled, then in this lifetime, you'll become responsible for your work. You will work really hard. You may also become a kind of workaholic. You may have a lot of discipline in work. You will wake up early in the morning. You will see to that you're at work on time. You will also become very agitated when people don't work in the office, because, you know, your current life lesson is discipline and ambition, but others are not helping you in that. So you're going to get really upset with your team members or your office people, or even for that matter, your family members. In a past life, maybe you wanted to do many things, but you were in a lifetime where a lot of unfavorable circumstances were there. They were only there for some other learning that you had to do. So in this lifetime, because you're choosing family care, you're choosing confidence, you're choosing discipline, you will also choose certain favorable circumstances. Now, all circumstances may not be favorable, friends, because that depends on the goodness that you have collected over lifetimes, correct? So, but some favorable circumstances can definitely be chosen by you. So getting the idea, some missed lessons, and in this lifetime, you make up for those lessons. You start working in a certain way that your soul begins to satisfy itself with certain lessons that it has already missed. Now, most people will tell me, मेरे साथ ये क्यों हो रहा है? Why is this happening to me? मैंने ऐसा क्या पाप किया है? What sin have I done that in this lifetime I have to suffer so much? So everybody who comes to see me always asks me the question, why me? All right? And I ask them, why not you? We are very quick to say, why me? Yeah? But why not you? Maybe in this lifetime, there is something very, very important that you have to learn. And for this is the kind of problem that has been given to you. So if you keep asking yourself, why me all the time, you will never learn. So friends, stop asking this question. And instead of that, start working on what life is actually teaching you. Okay? Now, in this time and age, when we're going through this COVID pandemic all over the world, yeah, every human being is living in fear. Now, why is it happening to everybody, first of all? Right? Okay, I have my own personal karma that I have to deal with, but this is not personal karma. This is something more than that, friends. So let us understand the different ways in which we understand what is happening today. Now, there are 5 different karmas. Okay, friends? One is what we call individual karma. It's related to one's own personality traits or habits or body sickness that you may have carried or personal relationships, stuff like that. It's individual. It's got nothing to do with this pandemic. Okay, सभी लोग सफर कर रहे, मैं भी सफर कर रही हूँ, पर आपकी suffering अलग होगी. You will be having a different kind of suffering than somebody else in this time and age only. Somebody will be suffering some poor health. It's got nothing to do with what is happening around in the world. So we all have individual karmas. You know, somebody the other day told me that, ma'am, aapko kya lagta hai? What do you think, ma'am? I think a lot of divorces will start taking place after this pandemic is over. It's got nothing to do with the corona. It's got something to do with your individual karma. Okay? So in our past life, if we've taken oaths, you know, like an oath that I will always serve you or something like that, or a vow, you know, like I promise you this, then your individual karma works according to the personal oaths and vows that you have taken. The second kind of karma is family karma, जो अभी चल रहा है, ठीक है? Now, family karma includes genetic conditions. So somebody is born crippled, or you have a child who's possibly got some condition which is genetic. Family curses, pitru dosh, जिसको हम कहते हैं. In a particular family, people die early. Complex relationships, extramarital affairs. You're having an affair with X person, then Y person, then Z person. This is all family karma. And this family karma will start to erupt just now. You know, it will become visible to people because everybody's staying together. Na? Koi bahar nahi ja sakta. Nobody can go out. So what is happening? Complex relationships. Okay. What we say, maybe husband and wife don't even speak to each other during the entire week because they're so busy. But aisa ho nahi sakta, right? Everybody is cooped in the house and a lot of complexity is starting to develop. So this is the time that family karma also starts becoming visible to everybody. The third is what we call group karma. So medical doctors are all working in a group. They have a group karma that they're dealing with. Lawyers, soldiers, religious people, police, all these people are dealing with group karma. Let me give you an example of a lawyer that came to see me. And rather, he attended one of my workshops. And he told me that, ma'am, I'm having, my work is not going well. And, you know, initially my work really picked up for the last many years. And suddenly now there's a slump. Ma'am, what is it? What have I done? And stuff like that. So I asked him that you're a lawyer. Kisko defend karte ho, prosecute karte ho, karte kya ho? So he said, I defend rapists and murderers. Okay. So I asked him that when you became a lawyer, did you have to take an oath? जैसे हम अगर कोर्ट में जाएंगे तो हमको we have to put our hand on Bhagavad Gita and take an oath, na? So similarly, when you became a lawyer, did you have to take an oath? He said, yes, ma'am. What was that oath? That oath was to be righteous. Correct? That oath is to become righteous. Are you doing work which is righteous? No, you're not. So if you're not doing work which is righteous, obviously there is going to be some kind of backlash that will come to you, if not today, after 5 years, if not after 5 years, after 10 years. But kabhi to backlash hoga na aapki life mein, ki nahi hoga. Correct? Maybe in this lifetime you will go by, okay, defending rapists and, seeing to it that they get less sentence or they get free. Well, then you will have to suffer in your next lifetime. Because that apple seed will give you apples, right? That negative karma that you are sowing will give you some negative lifetime. So this is what we call group karma. Doctors have to take a Hippocrates oath. It means to serve people and not get corrupt. Okay, politicians also take oaths, as you see, right? But if you're not working according to the oath, then the oath will become a noose around your neck. This is called group karma. Okay, everybody? Now, this is called national karma. When we are born in a certain country, we have to abide by the constitution of the country, the culture of the country, the language, the ethos, right? So if I'm born in India, I'll generally wear Indian clothes. I possibly grow my hair long, right? I will celebrate all the festivals. I will do pujas. This is what we call a national karma. Because when everybody comes together in a nation, that's how the nation gets an identity. It gets an ethos. So if all of us are Indians, because we should call ourselves Indians rather than Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, we are Indians. As an Indian, are we following the constitution? Are we responsible citizens? If we are not, then maybe you'll be born again in India and, I don't know, maybe suffer. Okay, so it's called national karma. Then we have the world karma, or what we call collective karma, jo abhi hum kar rahe hain. What the whole world is going through is called collective karma. Now, all of us have had multiple lifetimes on this planet. We have looted and plundered this earth in many lifetimes. We have been kind and benevolent also in many lifetimes. And we have over lifetimes accumulated collective karma. Okay? And this accumulated collective karma is what is visible today. Because the whole globe is suffering. Everybody. Why? Because all of us, in some lifetime or the other, or in many lifetimes, because we've all lived as slaves and we've all lived as slave masters. We've all been raped in some lifetime, and in many lifetimes we have been the rapists. In many lifetimes we've cut trees, burnt trees. So somewhere or the other, this whole world is paying for what we all have done. Now you can see the 5 different karmas that we are actually dealing with. It's a lot, friends, that we deal with. Okay, life is not simple. It's extremely complex and extremely complicated. Now, let us go to how we are going to improve our karma. Karma to kiya hai humne. How do we improve our karma so that we get better? Our accumulated karma starts to reduce. In Hindu scriptures, हम कहते हैं आगामी कर्म, माने future कर्म, हमें कैसे करना चाहिए. Now, we know all action is desire prompted, friends. I have a desire and I do an action. So I have a desire to buy a BMW. I go and I buy a BMW and I equate it with happiness. I've got a BMW, now I am happy. After some time, I have another desire, right? I want to buy a Gucci bag, shoes, whatever, and I get it. Have you noticed, friends, that after your desire is fulfilled, very soon that object for which you worked so hard to get loses its value? जब मैं दिल्ली जाती हूँ ना, तो मैं देखती हूँ expensive cars all parked outside. That object of desire that you wanted so desperately and you equated it with happiness is now parked outside the house. All right? So the thing is, if you equate fulfillment of desire with happiness, you are in for trouble because you will become unhappy in time to come. This in the Bhagavad Gita is said ignorance, avidya. जो लोग ये सोचते हैं कि चीजें या रिश्ते हमें खुशी दे सकता है, they are people who are ignorant. So friends, we can't be ignorant, because if every action of ours is desire prompted, then we are definitely going to be in trouble. Now, karma, as I told you, is action. So the key is 2 important things: type of action and attitude towards action. These are 2 things that we have to be careful about, okay? So type of action, किस तरह का action हम कर रहे हैं, और attitude, while we are doing the action, what is our attitude? These are two things that I want to talk about so that all of us collectively together can move out of this crisis unscathed, means without any problems. Now, what is right action, friends? Right action means we have to be dutiful, right? Now that we are all staying at home, what is our first duty? Our first duty is not towards the people, friends. Our first duty is towards the house, the shelter that God has given us. We worked so hard, no, to buy a house, right? Now this house, we have a huge duty towards the house. So sweeping, cleaning, dusting, yeah, taking care of the furniture that you invested all your money to buy, all the artifacts that you have, yeah, all the food that you have in your kitchen. That is the first duty that you have. The right action, may ye dutifulness first comes to your house. And that is why cleaning, swapping, sweeping, all this is not to be taken as a burden. It is to be taken as duty towards your house. सोचो अगर आप साफ सफाई नहीं करेंगे, if you don't clean your house, would you like to sleep on the bed there in the night? No. So the first duty today we have is towards our house. The second duty you have is towards your physical body, friends. कैसे हम अपने शरीर को healthy रखें? How to keep this body healthy? That is our second duty. Right action relates to the body, so that you eat well. You don't eat too much. My mummy always says that people don't die by eating less. People die by eating more. Okay? So if you're eating less, it's good. There is no problem with that. Some exercise you can do, walk around the house or do some speed walking or jogging on the spot or something like that. Some exercise, Tai Chi is a very good activity to do also. The third thing is duty towards your members, your family members, especially your people who are senior citizens. You can sit with them, play a game of cards with them, duty towards your other family members, your children. And most important in these times, the right action is that everybody works on their emotions. Duty towards your emotional well-being. Be relaxed, happy, smiling, laughter yoga karo. Huh? Laugh a lot together. Okay, that's very good. So the thing is, right action, karma, in these times, duty plays a very, very important role in our life. Now, karma, right action is also related to, it has to be value-based. ये सब करने से, whatever I said, if we do it like this, is it going to add value to my life? Will it add value to my day? Yes. So every action that we do, Bhagavad Gita में लिखा हुआ है, every action that we do should be dutiful and value-based. These are two things, if we remember, just these two words, then every action, friends, is going to dry up your prarabdha. What you have carried, no, it will get dried. And by the time you end this life, jo prarabdha aap lekar aaye, whatever you have got will be over. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful if your prarabdha that you have carried by the end of this lifetime gets over, you cannot, more, the amount of happiness you will feel will be immense. Now, attitude. I spoke about action. Now let's look at attitude. Very, very important. Mr. Modi, PM Modi, spoke about Saptapadi, 7 steps. He spoke about 7 steps. I'm also going to be talking to you about 7 steps for right attitude. It's all from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Your attitude will determine your direction, friends. Agar my attitude is positive, I will go on the right path. If my attitude is negative, looting, cheating, yeah, I will go on the wrong path. Simple. My attitude will determine my direction. I'm sure most of you agree to what I am saying. Now, let's look at the first step. 7 steps I said, Saptapadi. 7 steps are there. The first step is the attitude of dedication. Now, I want you to, for a second, imagine that your favorite film star is stranded in a rainy season. बहुत बारिश हो रही है, it's raining very heavily, and your favorite film star's car has got spoiled. And you are passing that road, that space, and he's asking for a lift. And you are like, oh my God, yeah, so-and-so is asking me for a lift. And you're so like overjoyed. And the film star sits in a car and you go out of the way. Aapko jana left mein hai, but aap right chale jate just to drop the film star home. Right? At the end of that drive, the film star offers you a tip, some money. Will you take it? No, you definitely won't take it. Why? Because just the act of taking the film star from point A to point B was so pleasurable that that tip doesn't add anything to you. You'll refuse it. You'll completely refuse it. Because that action that you did was done with the attitude of dedication. You were completely dedicated to the film star. When he sat in your car, you asked him the question, are you okay, sir? Do you want the AC little stronger? Sir, can I make you wear the seat belt? Yeah, you asked so many things, right? Just to make his drive comfortable. So the attitude was of dedication. So today, we are in our homes, right? With the attitude of dedication, like what I'm doing, I'm not a very good cook, nor do I like cooking. Okay. But now that I am at home and the cook is not coming, I decided, okay, God is wanting me to cook. God is wanting me to become a good cook. So I made kind of YouTube my friend. Okay. And every day I'm cooking new things watching YouTube. So my husband told me yesterday, मुझे लगता है by the end of this whole thing, now you'll become a very good cook. So some lesson, maybe in some past life, I must have avoided, okay, feeding people what they wanted to eat. So in this lifetime, I'm actually doing it, and the pandemic is teaching me this. And I'm doing it with great dedication. Okay, getting the idea, friends? So the first step, right attitude, is about dedication. The second attitude we have to have is a cheerful acceptance. Yeah? Just accept whatever is there. I mean, it's okay. Jo hai, wo le lo. Because there's nothing else that can come your way, right? So allow what is coming to you and accept it willingly. Okay, let me just enjoy my house. I can't go out, but I can just make my house more pretty. I can remove the clutter that I may have collected over the years, cheerfully clean the kitchen and clean the cupboard and, do stuff like that. And it can give you the right prasad. It's called prasad buddhi. All right. So what I do is my offering to him, and what I get is his gift to me. These are little things that I have written because it stays with you about cheerful acceptance. So just accept what is happening. Yeah. So my mother, she's 85 and she lives by herself. So she calls me, we talk to each other thrice in a day, 9:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the evening, and 10:30 in the night before she goes to sleep. Now, there's nothing much to talk, right? Because there's nothing happening. So she will repeat the same thing again at 5:30, what she's told me at 9:30. And then again at 10:30, she will repeat the same thing, what she told me at 9:30 and 5:30. Okay? But I cheerfully accept it. And I say, God, just keep her safe and, keep her happy and keep her healthy. That's my prayer every day that I do before I go to sleep. So cheerfully accept if she's repeating the same thing again and again, it's okay. It's fine. After all, she's your mother. Okay? Now, the attitude of obedience, friend, this is very, very important to improve our karma. We have to obey what is right action. Now, PM Modi has been saying over and over again. He's been folding his hands and even, requesting people for social distancing, stay at home, don't go out, repeatedly. Everybody has been saying, all the religious gurus who are coming on TV are also saying the same thing. Why are we not able to obey? What is stopping us from obeying? We really have to reflect within ourselves. What is the reason that we don't have an attitude of obedience? What is stopping us from obeying? A little reflection is very, very important for us. Because what is happening today, could continue for the next 6 months till this virus completely becomes dormant. In some way or the other, social distancing has become part of our life now. So we will have to obey. Similarly at home, your daughter is saying, Mummy, aap to chips nahi bana rahe ho, some pasta, cheese is not available, or some particular pasta is not available. Like my daughter said, Mummy, Maggie aap lekar aana. Maggie is off the shelf completely. Maggie is just not there anywhere, at least here in Bombay. So I told her, Maggie is not there. So she said, okay, Mama, it's fine, Children have to obey their parents. I'm surprised why children don't obey their parents. Similarly, we are also children of our parents. So we too have to obey our parents. So if you obey, there's no problem. The attitude of obedience is such a beautiful attitude, and it can really help you to do the right action. The next one, the fourth one, is the attitude of gratitude. People talk a lot about this nowadays. Let's have attitude of gratitude. Let's have attitude of gratitude. Okay. But most people they speak a lot about gratitude, but I don't know how many people really have that attitude. Okay. But why should we have a gratitude attitude? Like today, nowadays, right? We are not getting the food that we like, or we're not getting particular like ice creams or cakes or pastries that children are actually used to. But definitely, I think most of us are extremely grateful for what we are getting, right? Doodh roz mil raha hai. I think we should be grateful for that. Yeah, the dairy is open. All dairies are open. So we should be grateful for that. When you start developing the attitude of gratitude, you respect and love everything that is happening that He is giving us. The Lord is giving us everything. But we are not showing the attitude of gratitude. And that's one of the reasons that right action is also not being done by us. Okay? We have to work on this, friends. So the next is the attitude of continuous giving. Now, when I give, jaise ki, when I went for shopping, the shopkeeper gave me my favorite dress. I wore the dress many, many, many months. Then I gave the dress to my maid. And the maid wore it many, many months, and then maybe gave it to her younger sister, whatever it is, okay? The key is, this sets up a chain of goodness. When we do something, when we give, then the other person also gives, and the other person. So this sets a chain of goodness. And this is such a wonderful thing that can start taking place. So keep giving. Jo aap de sakte hain, keep giving. Like my maid is obviously not coming, and she works in 7 homes. So all the 7 homes have decided, ek ne usko 5 kilo tel diya, ek ne 5 kilo rice diya, one home gave her some dal. So all of us decided to distribute. And we set up a chain of goodness. Not only I giving everything to the maid, but everybody pooled in together their resources. And now that April has started, in April also, we will see to it that all of us will give a little bit to her. This is how you set up chains of goodness. So you can do that, like a school can start doing it. Organizations like y'all can start doing it, setting up a chain. So you have an attitude of continuous giving. The 6th one is the attitude of giving and giving up. This is very important to understand. It's speaking of 2 things, friends, here. One is tyag or renunciation. and the other is samarpan or propitiation. So the key is giving, dena, and giving up. All right. Now, the first thing is giving up. This is such a wonderful time for people to give up bad habits like pan chewing, gutka chewing, spitting, alcohol, drugs. I mean, look at the bad habits, friends, we have collected. Huh? एक पूरा पिटारा है, huh? Of all bad habits, anger, irritation. So many emotions that we have collected. Okay? गुस्सा करना किसी के ऊपर फालतू में, unnecessary. Now we have a chance, this attitude of giving up, त्याग. भाई, इसको तो मुझे छोड़ना ही है. It's the best time, friends, for us to do this, okay? So if you have this attitude of giving up, I think a lot can be achieved. This COVID can give us much more than it's going to take away from us. That I guarantee. So why don't we start working on this attitude of giving up, okay? And giving, just giving your time, giving your attention to somebody at home. वरना तो आप अपनी सास के साथ बैठते भी नहीं हैं, है ना? अब मौका आ गया आपको, sitting with your mother-in-law, giving her all the 100% attention. You have got the best time to build on this wonderful kind of relationship. Imagine. So keep giving your time, keep giving your love, keep giving your attention, keep playing with your child, give him that kind of attention that he's always asked for. So this attitude of giving and giving up is a wonderful attitude, and it improves your karma completely. Now, the last one is the attitude of detachment. We all talk about detach rehna hai. I don't want to get into anything. Let me stay completely detached from people, stuff like that we keep saying, okay? So now we have to become, we are attached with our likes and dislikes. Mujhe ye pasand nahi hai, I'm attached to that. Mujhe yehi pasand hai, I'm attached to that. I'm attached to my likes and I'm attached to my dislikes, okay? So the attitude of detachment has to develop from your likes also become detached, and from your dislike also become detached. Okay? The seventh is the attitude of detachment. Somebody needs to mute themselves because I'm listening to someone talking. So the attitude of detachment, माने like से भी detach and dislike से भी detach. दोनों से आपको detach करने का, this is the best time again. Okay. Okay. Somebody has muted me. All right. So friends, we are into this new normal now, and this is all going to make you into a new you. And this is actually karma. Karma is working so beautifully in our lives today that a new opportunity has been given to us, a challenging time. We are living in such a wonderful, challenging time कि हमें सीख के ही मरना है. We can't die without learning now. I think it's the best gift that the Lord could have given to us, that all the 6.3 billion people on this planet, I'm teaching you all because you have refused to learn, and I'm going to make you into a new avatar. So think what's going to happen in January 2021. Just for a second, visualize January, the new year, December 31st, 2020, when this crisis is going to be possibly completely over. How are we going to celebrate? By eating pan parag? By eating gutka? By drinking alcohol? By taking some marijuana? By driving very fast? No. We are going to celebrate because we are going to have a transformation. And that's what I want you all to understand about the power of karma, friends. Karma is such a beautiful word. The consequence that we are suffering today is not suffering. इस शब्द को delete करो. Suffering शब्द है ना, उसको ऐसे cancel करो. Cancel, delete, erase. We are actually transforming ourselves. We're transforming our emotions. We're transforming our spiritual seeking. We're transforming physically, our food habits. So I want you to understand the power of karma today. A new normal has started and a new you is going to emerge from this. So thank you. I've come to the end of the kind of presentation. So I'm going to entertain some questions. Anybody would like to ask questions?
Thank you, Trupti, for such a wonderful insight into karma. Karma is a very deep theory, you know. So it was actually beautiful. And as you rightly said, this pandemic has taught us a lot of new things, you know. Obviously, one is important is social distancing. Second is it has made us better cooks, staying at home, more family relations we have, you know, developed in this 15, 20 days. And
Yes.
things of giving up is very, very, you know, very important. A lot of people must have left drinks and pan parag and all that. So a lot of positivity in if you look at the other side. Now
True,
I have my
true.
question. That
Anji.
in this karmas which we do in this birth, do we
Yeah.
get the results in this birth or do we get in the next birth?
See,
whatever the
if
good
you-
deeds or the bad deeds.
Correct, yeah. So if I do some good actions in this lifetime, I can have a better life. That means the way I'm going to be dealing with people in my current existence will automatically change. So I will start reaping some benefits. So some benefits you will definitely get in your current lifetime because your attitude will start changing.
Okay. No, but are they carried forward to how many lifetimes? I mean, is there any theory, study like that, or
So they say that suppose I have had a wonderful life, all right, and so I will die and I will go to a space which is like heaven created by me, right? And I will enjoy in heaven till I exhaust all the goodness that I have accumulated in my lifetime now, and then I will have another birth in which I will possibly have some benefits of what I have experienced in my lifetime that my lifetime is just over. With that, I will also carry some learnings from those lifetimes which are still postponed learning. So दोनों चीजें होती है. Some goodness you will carry and some learning you will carry.
And there's another question that, like, you know, people who become terrorists or the thieves or those who are in bad, you know, so what kind of karmas or which should be avoided, you know, to have that kind of in your next birth, or what is that they become like this in this birth?
So I just shared with you the story of that lawyer, right? So
yeah, correct, yes.
Correct. So it depends on your profession. Now, if you have a profession where you've taken an oath to help and you're not helping, you know, you're actually looting people, cheating people, then obviously you're going to accumulate this particular karma and it's going to give you some kind of suffering in your next lifetime. The other thing, whoever has asked this question, I want to say that suppose my last breath is very important. That means before I die, what I'm thinking. So suppose there is a person who is drinking, okay, and now in these times you are used to having alcohol every day, but the alcohol is not there and it's not available, and your stock is also over at home, and you die, okay, thinking of alcohol. Now, it depends on the good karma that you have accumulated in your current lifetime to decide your next lifetime. And now, the last thought was about alcohol. If you have accumulated a lot of good things, good deeds in your current lifetime, in your next lifetime, you can possibly be born as Vijay Mallya. Okay? So alcohol is with you, but you have a wonderful life because, a good life with all good things because of your good karma. Getting the idea?
Okay.
And your bad karma will catch you in some time also.
Achha, there's one member who is asking, Neela Gorsaria, can seeing past life make us better in coping with our present karma, or will it increase the baggage?
Right. So when I see my past life, like I gave you my example about having fear of heights and motion sickness. So my fear of heights and motion sickness disappeared completely. Right? The second thing is, suppose I have lots of people who come to see me who have, relationship issues with their husband or with their children or whatever it is. But once they see their past life or they experience their past life, somehow they're able to cope better. I have never had a person who has done past life therapy and become worse. Never. It cannot happen. Why? Because your consciousness, your soul, will only show you that much which can help you, which can benefit you. The soul is not against you, it is for you.
Okay. Now there's another question by Aruna Agarwal. Ma'am, how can one know the reason of their birth in this cycle? What karma I have to perform?
Okay, so when you do a past life session, I can just talk to you from past life. When you do a past life session, like I've seen about 9 of my lifetimes. So I know where I'm coming from. What is my lesson that is postponed? What is it that I needed to learn, but I did not learn? And so in this lifetime, I'm going to do it step by step. I know exactly what I have to do.
Okay. There's another question. How many lifetimes are required to reset the prarabdha and reboot our karma to be happy? Is it possible in this life?
No, it is not possible.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
You need
more time.
Yeah, why? I'll tell you. Because my consciousness has traveled from the plant kingdom to the animal kingdom, the mineral kingdom, and the human lifetime. So I have infinite lifetimes and I have infinite actions, and I have done many actions with a good attitude and many actions with a negative or not a good way. So I have innumerable lifetimes that I have to deal with. The key is, in this current lifetime, the person who's asked the question, I just want the person to reflect back to whatever wrong attitude that the person has. Or all of us can reflect on ourselves and see, in this lifetime, what have we done which has increased our level of goodness, and what have we done which has increased our level, our sinful behavior. And compare, like a scale, like a justice scale. Compare karo. You will know yourself whether you are equipped to move on to the next lifetime having a better life or not.
Okay. There's another question by Neha Srivastava. What is the start point of a karma? Say, for example, I'm performing any action. How do I know if it was bound to do it because of some past karma, or is it a fresh action that I'm performing? Basically, how do we differentiate between this karma or the previous karma? How is it happening?
Correct. So any action that you are repeatedly doing comes from a vow or an oath that you had taken. And anything that surprises you, ऐसा तो मैं कभी करती नहीं थी. Oh, this is not the way I used to behave first. That is a new action.
Okay. Then there is one question. What is the family karma? Please, can you elaborate a little bit?
Okay. So you're born in a certain family. That means you've chosen your parents. Now, what is your relationship with your father and your relationship with your mother? It may be different. You may be more closer to your father, maybe less close to your mother, then your grandparents, then your brothers and sisters. You may have somebody in your extended family also that you're close to. Now, family karma, why are we born in a family? Why are we not born and then left to fend for ourselves? Because when you're born in a family, you are learning from each other. So, what you are learning from your mother, your father cannot teach you. What you're learning from your father, your mother cannot teach you. So we have chosen all these people in our life so that we can learn different actions from each other. We can learn right attitude from each other. That is what you call family karma. So you can make a list of all the people in your family and see from each person what are you learning and what are they learning from you, or what are you not learning from them, or what they are not learning from you. Like, let me give you an example. Suppose you keep telling your spouse or your mother, "Mummy, aapko ye karna chahiye. You should do this. You should do." That person is just not doing it. That means you are providing that person the lesson, but the opposite person is refusing to learn the lesson. So now you see for yourself if you are learning the lesson or not. If somebody is repeatedly telling you something, but you're not following it, that means you're not learning that lesson, which is coming from your past life oath or vow. That is how a family karma works.
There is one interesting question by Shinu Aluwalia. Ma'am, what happens to people who keep doing bad karma and still pray like crazy all the time?
Shinu is my student, so I know.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So, well, if you keep doing bad karma and you keep praying, well, God is not going to give you the prasad buddhi. Prasad wo aapko dega, but buddhi nahi dega.
Correct.
So it does not work.
Okay. And then there are 2-3 more questions.
Sure.
Then there was one question by Mr. Chaturvedi that I've gone into life regression quite a few times, but I've never been able to, go into that birth. So how many times or how much time does it take to go to that birth?
But that birth means which birth? Possibly is talking of a specific birth, like a specific thing that he possibly wanted to know.
You can see.
Well, I can only tell him that on the screen, I have put the kind of email. All right. So for people who'd like to know more about their sessions that they have done, they need to write them down and send it to me, because then only I can help you to interpret.
Correct.
If he's asking me the question that he's done a lot of regressions, but he hasn't been able to visualize or see a past life, then maybe it was not done right. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So do we have time? We have 4-5 more questions.
Sure.
Can we take?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Does bad karma?
Yeah. Sure,
father,
you can take me.
Yeah. Does the bad karma of father need to be cleared by son, or what is the fault of the son whose father had done? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that is what we call pitru dosh. Okay. It's not the fault of the son. It is a contract between the soul of the father and the soul of the son. I'll just give you a very short kind of example that there was a person who came to see me, a young man. He has 4 brothers. That means he's the 5th brother. Okay. He says, "Ma'am, all my 4 brothers are doing really well, but I am the one who's suffering." I said, "With whom does your father stay?" He said, "My father stays with me." I said, "You are the youngest son. Why is your father not staying with the eldest one?" He said, "No, my father wants to stay with me only." Now, the thing is, possibly it's a contract that the father and the youngest son have to deal with this dosha together. So
Okay.
that particular son would be carrying the contractual kind of relationship with the father. That is how actually all sons will not carry the problem. There'll be a particular son or a daughter that will carry the problem.
Okay. Yeah, correct. We are seeing such kind of examples in our lives, you know. Many times, many times we feel extremely close to someone. Is it because we were related to that person in the previous birth?
Yeah, sure. You can also feel close to your dog. Your dog could also be coming from a lifetime.
Yeah, that's true. Especially abroad, lot of good relationship with the pet, so they are might be have some relationship in the previous birth. How can we reduce the suffering in this life? That's by good deeds.
Like I've just told you, by right action and right attitude. These two things I have specially said. Dutifulness is very important, friends, to work with duty and value. These are two things, if you remember, there's nothing more to remember.
There is one question, again, sounds interesting. Ma'am, if I'm going through a worst relationship presently, is it my old karma? Is it wise to end such abusive relationship for the peace of myself?
I can ask that person the same question, that do you feel you will get peace if you end that particular relationship? If the answer is yes, then you know what to do.
It's a very personal question, actually. How do you know that you have overcome your karma?
When something ends, like it does not kind of repeat itself again. Like a man goes to prison, he finishes his term, he comes out, and then he becomes a transformed or changed person. That his whatever karma for which he had gone to the prison is over. So you will also know that. Suppose you are married to somebody, and 10 years it has been abusive, and you have let's say a kind of a divorce, and then you get married after 2 years again to somebody. After a few years, that person will tell you that, ma'am, I cannot believe that for 10 years I was in an abusive relationship. I can't even imagine why I did that. This indicates that that person who lived in that 10 years of abusive relationship has finished the karmic, whatever abuse that had to be done. And now it's a different you. It's a different person. That's when you know that that particular relationship with that person from the past life is finished. It's over.
How to define a good karma? At times, what do you think is good? You are thinking for another person is a good karma, or there's something beyond that?
You don't have to worry about what somebody else is doing. You worry about yourself. If you should know yourself, right? In every spiritual book, it is mentioned, know thyself. That means know your thoughts, know your actions, know your emotions, know your attitude, so that you can work on yourself. You have to know only yourself. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing.
Correct. Should look for our own this thing.
Yeah.
This is something which always, we have always heard stories, like somebody, like there is a flight and the flight crashes, but there's always one person who is left. So what kind of karma, or what do you think it happened to that one person that, maybe 300 died and one single person is left, even in train journeys, some train accidents, car accidents. So something like this happens. We hear these stories. So yes, what is that kind of karma which saves that person?
Somebody before asked me this question that,
okay.
Somebody before asked me like a question that how would I know if my past life, thing is over. So this person who has been saved, okay, it's all his goodness that has saved him. It's a rare thing, but this can happen to people. And then their life completely transforms. This can happen to so many people. In these times, friends, now you will see in the next 6 months, we are going to see a spate of possibly people committing, kind of suicide because of whatever reason, which is what I feel is going to happen with a lot of people who will get kind of depressed. The next big, kind of pandemic is possibly going to be kind of depression. Now, those people who will get depressed and maybe commit suicide, they are not able to transform their lives with this particular challenge. So I want to tell everybody that if you are feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling fearful, seek out help rather than thinking negative. That's my appeal to everybody through this.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. There's a last question. If someone is doing bad to us, how do we know that it is him doing the wrong work, or is it our own karma which is making us do the bad thing?
Obviously, if
suppose
you're doing
I'm hitting
something,
my son.
Yes.
Suppose I'm just giving example. Suppose I'm hitting my son. So is it because of his bad karma that I'm hitting, or is it my bad karma that I'm hitting? I mean, or are they interlinked?
It is, of course, your son and you have a contract. Maybe he has to learn a particular thing, let's say kind of discipline. Okay, but the problem is that the action that you're doing, if you want to teach him discipline, okay, let us say I and my daughter, I want to teach her discipline, and she in this lifetime has to learn discipline. Now, my and her thing is that discipline has to be taught. Now, the action need not be abuse. The action can be something else.
Correct.
You're understanding? Hitting somebody is guided basically by wanting quick results. Agar main marungi, I'll get a quick result. The child will listen to me. It is not prompted by my past life that I'm actually hitting him or her. Okay? The action that I want to teach discipline, the action that I take need not be hitting. It can be something else. That is up to my choice.
Correct. I think now we conclude the session, and thank you, Dr. Trupti. It was actually wonderful and a lot of insight, and even in this critical times, it's this insight of theory of karma would actually, I think, help all of us. That we should keep optimistic and being positive. So, is there any last message for all of us for karma, so that we don't suffer in these few days? I hope there are few days.
Yes, absolutely. I just want to tell everybody that delete the word suffering from your vocabulary. God doesn't want us to suffer. God wants us to learn. So think of it as learning rather than suffering. This word suffering is not required, actually. Enjoy your day. That's what's most important. And these times will pass. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.